two, one. What's up, everyone? It's us here at Mobile Gaming News. This is the roundtable discussion. I am joined by Dorian, Dr. Hollow, 12, and Ruda. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
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 And in case you guys haven't heard my voice before, I am Joe Schmo. We are here to, talk about the good stuff, the video game or the mobile games, and all the stuff we do here. But we're going to introduce ourselves first. I am Joe Schmo. I have my own YouTube channel where I do anime stuff, video game stuff, that kind of thing. So if you want to swing by, go check out the same name. I do content around Fate Go, Girls Frontline, different mobile games that get my interest, and different weird articles that get my interest. Whoever wants to take it next can go ahead.
I guess
Yes,
I'll
I'll
go.
go next.
Oh,
Well,
all of us all at once.
I'll hold off last. Somebody else go.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm N12. If you want to find me outside of mobile gaming, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/N12. For Mobile Gaming News Network, I mainly currently write articles on Don Memo and Sword Art Online, Alicization Rising Steel. But I occasionally will do other articles like First Impressions and things like that.
I'm Rudra. I don't really have a presence online. I prefer to keep that private. On MGNN, I'm mostly an editor. I do back-end stuff like that. I do, however, written a couple of articles about non-gacha games. I know the horror. There are games other than gachas, but yes, that is sort of my specialty and interest, and I might write some more in the future.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Hollow.
Well, hello. My name is Dr. Hollow. I write for Mobile Gaming News, and I exclusively cover for Arknights, both for CN and EN, and hopefully any other servers. Currently, I play any other mobile games such as Epic 7, Girls Frontline, Azure Lane, but for my social, I only help out in the community for Arknights.
All right. Guess that will leave me. My name is Dorian, and I don't have much of an online presence as of yet, but now that I'm here at Mobile Gaming News Network, I guess I'm going to have one. You can find me on Twitter at dsakochov. Don't ask about the last name; it's long. As to why I don't have a nickname here, I'm just tired of using so many different nicknames. I'm just at the point where I want to use my real name. So, yeah. I will have a YouTube and Twitch and all that fun stuff later. I'm still in the process of setting it up. I have an article in production. It's just a general, hey, how do we find gacha? That's not the actual title. It's just the first thing off the top of my head. Unfortunately, I forgot to get my permissions all set up, so it's kind of in limbo until I can get that. Well, it got fixed, but until then, I couldn't edit my article from that, and all the wonderful stuff. I name something that goes wrong. It goes wrong with me. Let's just end this and go into our proper stuff.
So that gives you guys the gist of who we are, part of the team, and part of the face of this wonderful news organization. As you all know, it's started by our good man Shogun, but he is not here today. Maybe we'll be able to grab him and drag him into one of these. But let's go over the world of gaming. Who wants to go first with their updates on what they play?
How about I start that off because I only played 2 of the gacha games that we've got.
Yeah, that's fine. Go right ahead.
Okay. So first one I'll get out of the way since pretty much all of us here at Mobile Gaming News play is Fate Grand Order. We're currently wait for the rerun of the Da Vinci event. Jolter outfit get? Yes! Anybody else want to chime in about that event?
Well, I got my apples ready.
Well, the rerun, unlike most other lotters, requires you to farm 20 boxes, and you only have 9 days in which to do it. So you better get your grind on for this one. Though, unlike other reruns, you have unlimited lottos instead of just being limited. So if you can really get your grind on, there's a lot of embers and mats coming your way.
I hear a bunch of people are going to start taking off work, and I already hear the The pen's going to the paper timesheet.
It starts
Oh.
on the 10th, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that's.
So yeah,
Oh,
if
thank
you've
God.
got
I have the 11th and 12th off of work. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm out of maths because I've got like within the last month I've got like 16 or 17 new servants, so it's like my resources are like tapped. Somehow I'm out of bones.
Everyone's
Somehow
out of bones.
Yeah, everyone's out of bones.
I'm literally just been plugging away at the bone what is it?
The bone
XF?
zone.
The bones.
Yeah,
Zone.
XF or FC, and it's literally like RNG keeps screwing me over, and it's like I'm still at like 7.
Talking about RNG, who's gonna try and roll for Jolter?
I mean, I'll try. I'm not gonna devote my life to it, but I'll
I'm-
try.
I kind of.
I am
might.
passing. I have Ed, and he's all the Avenger I need. And besides, Ereshkigal kind of sucker punched me, and I need to recover.
Oof, I feel. I just wait. All my time and money went to Skathic since I just got my account back. I spent all my money trying to get her rate up, and then I got nothing. I got Emmy Assassin and what was it, Carmella. That's when I got it like 300 plus Saints Court and 20 summon tickets. Yay!
I
Wow.
want to because it's Jolta, but I'm also planning on saving for Scotty because I need the quick 7 buff from. I have so many quick 7s, it's not even funny.
Well, I guess I shouldn't.
I might go for Scotty since I seem to have a weird luck with support casters. Like I got Merlin and Tamamo pretty easily.
Well, here's my thing. My first SSO was Jack. Then I got Enkidu. I have MHX. I have Mysterious Human X Alta, like Max Grail, just because I love a character. I have like so many other just quick servants. I can't even name them all.
I'm trying to not say anything back here, but I guess I'm the only person with Jolter at the moment.
I mean, I also have Jolter,
Oh, okay, good.
I mean,
so I'm glad.
I have plenty of people with Jolter on my friends list, and if I really need a single target Buster nuke, I have a cool alter ready.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're covered. But yeah, no, for me, I got really lucky last year because I've had
You know,
14 SSRs.
a friend of mine spent about 400 Saints Courts, 10 tickets, and then spent another $200.
Oh,
outside
no.
of that, trying to get and didn't get her. He was.
I got
going for
her
Fate
on
for
the
a while.
first run.
Well, I've spent 1,200 Saint Quartz trying to get, and that's literally 1,200 exact, trying to get Lancer Artoria. So I know the salty feeling.
I thought you were
spent
about to say
600
dollars, and I was about to have a heart attack in my chair.
No, I probably have spent about. Wait,
It might be best just to keep the numbers. I don't think
Yeah,
my heart can
just
stand
keep the
it.
numbers silent.
no, but I'm just thinking about 600 of that quartz was probably bought. So,
Oof.
yeah, so I know your guys' assault. Like she's the only one. Like I did the GSSR roll, and I did the Knights thinking, okay, yeah, I'll roll here. I'll probably get Lancer Artoria just because it's going to be the way. No word of a lie, I have never rolled on a Brynhilder banner. Until banner. Guess who decided to show up instead of her? I had the whole SSR thing, like all the rainbow feathers, the rainbow glitter, all the wonderful stuff. I'm like, okay, this isn't a repeat. It's slow. It's happening. Wait, who is this? Oh, God. Oh,
This sounds like me when I try to get Akita every single banner, and every single banner she popped up, I got a Liz Lancer. So I have like an MP3 or 4 Liz like Lancer. I refuse to use out of spite. Like she just gets at level 1, and I'm just like, I'm not using you.
Well,
I have like an NP4 Medusa Lancer that's gonna sit at level 1 for the same reason.
NP4 Salter, NP4 Salter.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Okay.
So
Is there?
yeah, we're.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I was about to say, is there any other updates we have for games? I don't. The girls' frontline still same event going on right now. Nothing really has changed. I mean, I haven't checked today unless something happened today, as the recording date, which is 1/7.
Well, Honkai Impact currently has the Sanka Saga event going on, which is, in my opinion at least, some of the best storytelling that
Oh yeah.
I've seen in this game in a while.
Oh yeah. No, I
Though,
love the story of this event.
right, though to my great annoyance, you're limited to 120 of the event currency every
Yes.
day for some godforsaken reason.
That decision annoys me to no end because I just want to grind all my metal or all the currency in one day. No, I
My
can't.
problem with Honkai is that every time when I log in, I just have to top up because there's this new like thing. I get upset.
Who the heck would decide on a currency limit in a gotcha game? I mean, I understand understand like the ability points part, so that people would stop playing it. But for a currency limit,
Because
then-
they're
Yeah.
trying to help you, you know?
Yeah.
But then
Also-
again, like the event is time gated. Like the next chapter, there's still a day off.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
well,
it.
okay, if it's gated like that makes more sense. Like I
They
don't play that.
also, I'm not sure Rudra or Hollow if you guys play on the PC version, but you also cannot top up at the current moment in time on the PC version.
Really? Oh
You
no!
Like-
have to do it through the mobile version and on the same account, and then go back to the PC version.
Well, I don't have to do it on PC because I have a beefcake of a phone which can run it maxed out anyway. So
Oh, lucky.
Okay, as a person who doesn't play Honkai, there's a PC version.
Yeah,
See,
they
because
actually just launched it.
this is like Honkai is unusual compared to other gachas because it's like pretty much a full scale action game. Like you have dodge rolls and attacks and multiple weapon types and stuff like that, and it's a proper action game as opposed to simply tapping on the.
Oh,
And it
okay.
kills your
I
phone
didn't know-
and memory both at the
Yes.
same time.
Yes.
Oh, because if I would have known there was a PC version, I would be playing that. So
Yeah. Here, I can
Thank
send you.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Though I would recommend playing it on the PC unless you have a phone like mine. Like my phone has like
Yeah.
6 gigs of RAM, so
Here.
Oh, okay. So it needs to. Okay, got it. Okay, so okay. Well, there's something new I learned. That's cool. Yeah, Azure Lane's on a down cool, so we can't talk about that one. Well, it's
I mean,
not
we
on a
can
down-
we know for a fact that the Idol event is coming sometime this month, since the Sakura event is winding down.
Yeah, and we're not having it this week. We'll get to reason why that might be later. But yeah, the Polaris event's probably either happening next week or at the end of the month, depending on how they set things up. I think we might have a rerun event next week. Not this coming maintenance because we have nothing set up, but we might have on the 16th. So I think we might end up with the Polaris event like on the 28th to 30th.
Also,
Because I
Dorian,
think-
I just sent you the link for the Honkai webpage. You have to download the PC version through that if you want to download it.
Okay. Yeah. So
All right.
the reason I was just meaning like when Azure Lane doesn't really have much to speak about. The Sakura event is ending, so. But I at least like that we finally have Saruga in the game though, because I felt like her not being there for like a couple of months since the Crosswave event was kind of weird. That's the only thing I'll admit.
Yeah, we got like her as like an event boss for a while back.
Yeah, that was the Crosswave event when Crosswave got it, or was going to be released, and then they did a whole side promotion with it. Unfortunately, I can't play Crosswave. I don't own a PlayStation.
Yeah,
Looks over at my PlayStation.
and I've been trying to get Kino and Noshiro in the gotcha. That way you get to save my points, but that's not happening.
Yeah, no. After I got my, I think it was second Kino, my gotcha just went. Yeah, you're not getting anything else from me. Nope. You better save your cubes for the Polaris. You ain't getting anything else. I was like, I kept getting Illustrious. It's like, Illustrious, what the hell? This is like the 17th time you've shown up. I've got 400 medals from you retiring you now. Literally, like, I've had her 17 times. It's like, what's mysterious, illustrious rate up? What?
All
Yeah.
right. Is there any other updates we need to drop?
Uh,
I want to hit this Washington Post article.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
a quick, thing for Don Memo. While we don't have confirmation of when it is happening or who it is happening with, we should be having the collaboration event in Don Memo sometime in the next month or two. So that if you play Don Memo, that is something to look forward to.
All right. A couple of quick updates on my end. There's a weapons-based gacha I play called Demon Blade. I'm saying this is sort of a recommendation because it's surprisingly fun, and it has one of the best auto battle systems I've seen in a game ever because the AI is really good. And Shadow Fight 3 is dropping a rerun of a very well-loved event very soon. And this comes shortly after they put the last story chapter sometime last month.
Cool.
All right. I think that wraps up all of the updates. So, Mr. Dorian, you were the one that wanted to bring this up. So, the main focus today on this podcast is we're going to talk about the Washington Post article, which basically says Fate goes better than Fortnite. We've all known this, but they use Twitter to back this up. Am I correct on that statement?
Yeah, so Twitter announced today that on January 7th, that is, 2020, that there's been more than 1 billion tweets for games posted about gaming posted during 2019, and Fate Grand Order was leading the way. It managed to top Fortnite again. Like, somehow, some way, it's like, of all the things, and the reason I want to speak about it is because I've never seen, I don't remember from last year's, but this year's, I've never actually seen like a United States newspaper of like Washington Post type size actually come out and go, hey, this happened. Like, usually it's just like, oh yeah, it was something beat Fortnite, whoop-de-doo, but it's like,
So, with the Washington Post, they do weird articles. Like when the whole thing with YouTube about pedophiles and all that stuff using YouTube as a forum and using them and kids seeing the videos and stuff, they were the one that did the article. When they're talking about COPPA, Washington Post was the one that did the article. Washington Post attacks the weird stuff, which I find interesting because good stuff like what we're talking about right now pops out of the Washington Post, which like gives us,
oh,
in the anime culture, like good news.
oh, okay. I didn't know that it was the Washington Post that did the whole thing about the COPPA thing.
Yeah,
Then
they,
again,
they were one of the ones that started, but they were the big name that were reporting on it, and then everyone else got in on it.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I didn't realize they're the ones who do it. I mean, the article itself is nothing groundbreaking, but it's still, like, it's just mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just still, it was shocking for me, because it's like, wow, big newspaper actually took notice of it.
Which I honestly think in the upcoming years, like this year and next year, hopefully there's going to be more articles and that stuff. Because me and a couple friends have been talking about this. In the last couple years, anime culture has been like paving a way and becoming more relevant in modern, like everyday society. Because like New York, down in Times Square, Fake Go had a couple billboards going on for a while. Then
And do you guys remember last year when Code Vein launched? They partnered with American Red Cross for a blood donation drive, and everybody who donated got a free copy of the game. And Code Vein is as anime as it gets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that game's so anime. I love it.
Yeah. Actually, the funny thing about that one is it has probably the best character creator I've ever seen in any game.
I know. It is a phenomenal character creator.
At launch, the only problems I had with the character creator at launch was that there was no height slider, and then they added in the height slider like just a few months ago, and I was so happy.
Yeah, that's a game I need to pick up because I'm like, okay, just for the
I'm waiting for like a few DLC to drop so I can get like a complete edition. Like I'm very much a patient gamer. I play games on a 4 to 5 year delay.
Yeah, you sound
well,
like me.
we all play gacha gaming here, so we kind of have that in some respects, anyways, because you are maybe a year or two behind the main product. So
Not always, but a lot of mobile games can do that.
yeah, no, I mean I just mean like Fate Grand Order specifically. Like
Yeah.
we're a year behind, 2 years behind, or is
2
it
years.
2 years behind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like just to point out going towards the main media stream. Persona 5 has been blowing
my
up
gosh.
since it came out, and it's becoming
And
more
we have
relevant.
Royal releasing in 2 months,
Mhm.
and I'm
Plus
so
we have-
excited.
We have Ramble or what is it? What is it?
Scramble.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scramble.
Persona Scramble. They talked about. Well, they did Dancing Moon Knight and Dancing Star Knight with the Persona 3 and Persona 5. Then it's been it's more relevant on Twitch too. A lot of people were streaming it when it came out. You saw commercials like every other day on TV for it, and the same thing can be said even for Pokemon. More people even getting into Pokemon nowadays because it's easier to get access to because everyone has a Switch and everyone has this and that, and it's becoming more relevant, which is what I like to see. Because when growing up, it was not anywhere really. You might see it on Toonami and you got Pokemon, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I think this is also partially because like there's a surge of interest in Japanese culture in general. Like look at last year, we have Code Vein, we had Sekiro, and look at the upcoming games. Some of the most popular ones are Japan themed: Neo 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghostwire Tokyo, and the surprise hit that was Astral Chain that came out a few months ago. Like there's a growing increase in Japanese culture in general that's happening in the West right now, and I have a feeling that's partially what's leading to an uptick in the increase of gachas as well.
And I like that thought. We could actually make a whole podcast out of that. Let's
yeah.
put that away as a possible podcast idea.
Oh yeah, I'd love it to be on that one because like this has just been something that's like even I wasn't into like a lot of this stuff before this last decade, and then got into it, and now I'm just fully into it.
See, well, however, this also gives me a small fear because for a lot of people, their first exposure to gacha games is going to be Raid Shadow Legends, and that is like the worst, one of the worst gachas in existence, and a lot of people will just
Is Raid
dismiss
Shadow
it.
Legends actually a gacha game?
Yes,
Yeah,
I haven't
it's a
actually
horrible
played
one.
Raid.
I played it for a month. This is a gacha game which does not understand what a gacha is.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
okay, let's talk about Fate. Okay, let's talk about Fate Grand Order for a second, since we all play it. Let's pick a random 5-star and name anyone.
Okay.
Mysterious Heroine X Alter.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
You said
All right.
Heroine X Alter.
Yeah.
Heroine X Alter. Why do we like Heroine X Alter? She has a funny backstory, like as a parody of Darth Vader. She has like a cute personality of her own. She's addicted to sweets. She has cute animations. Yep.
Yeah.
Now
Well, basically,
yeah, and she's a saber face, which is like which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you are.
Yes,
I see that as an absolute positive.
All right, and now let's look at an SSR from Raid Shadow Legend. Behold, Blue Orc Berserker,
Just
who
that name.
is barely any different from Red Orc Berserker, or how about Viking Warrior? And this is the crux of the problem. Raid does not understand that you have to make the person care for an SSR unit in some way or fashion. Simply dumping stats on them is not going to make people want to roll.
Oh my god, you are kidding me. I'm literally just, my head is in my hands here thinking, oh my god, this is what people are going to be introduced to as their first SSR.
That's why we're
And
here, guys. We're here to form them and put them in the right path. We just got to throw a business cards at their face before they download that app, and then we'll save them. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that does bring me to an interesting question. Like, what would you guys say is a good starter gacha? Like, my
Arknights.
picks would be, well, my pick would actually be Azur Lane,
yeah,
since it's very forgiving in terms of actual gacha rates, and it
Yeah,
has an auto mechanic for people who don't want to grind. Like, Fate Grand Order can come later, since like that game has a nasty habit of getting you really attached to people and then not giving you them.
yeah. And
Though to be fair, the game does throw you bones by making you really like low rarity units as well. Like
Yeah.
Cursed Darm is such a bro, and you know for a fact that you can get him.
and also certain gacha games that are based off of just already pre-existing IPs as well are sometimes good to get people into gachas, especially if they have like that pretty forgiving rates. I know.
I mean,
first
it depends. Like I'm sure a lot of people are Dragon Ball fans, but Legends or Dokkan Battle are terrible gachas to start off with.
That's why I said they also have to have like that forgiving rates. Like my
Yeah.
first gacha was Dawn Memo. It didn't have the most forgiving rates at the beginning, but like nowadays, if you're a fan of Don Machi, Don Memo is worth getting into because you can go through that entire game and get King 1 in War Games, which is like the third highest PvP like ranking, and you can easily get into the top 1,000 in Record Buster, all by being completely free to play.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, there's
The game gives
Sorry.
so much free currency, and you get guaranteed new units on every 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th multi-draw on any of the banners.
speaking of good gacha rates, or at least what I've heard lately is Grand Blue Fantasy also is pretty good with the rates and stuff.
Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy's been going.
Yeah, but
All
Grand Blue Fantasy has a very, very glaring flaw.
Oh no, I was gonna mention it, but since you're on the roll, go for it.
It does not have a mobile app. You have to play it in a browser,
Yeah,
and the mobile browser version sucks.
Wait,
Yeah.
you do? I didn't know that.
yeah, that's the main reason why I don't play it. It's like trying to run it through the browser is like stupid, and that's the reason you don't see it on Google Play right now,
Oh.
or Android Store if you're Android.
Big oof.
Yeah.
See,
Alright, going off that tangent, what were each of you guys' first gacha, and how did you get introduced to that?
Love Live.
Okay, that is like self-explanatory. I guess I'll spare you the embarrassment.
Hey, Love Live is a great show.
Hey man, it's near and dear to my heart, and I'm a fanboy.
Hey.
I will be 100%. If you go on my channel, you know right off the bat that I'm a fanboy. It's okay because it's in my intro. If I wasn't a fanboy, it wouldn't be in the intro.
For myself, I actually played something gacha before Fate Grand Order and before Grand Blue Fantasy, because Grand Blue actually I played before Fate Grand Order, but I can't recall what it is. But the one that actually got me into gacha gaming, or just more the mobile app store types, was Fate Grand Order itself. I was a big fan of Fate, so when I heard it was coming out, I was like, yay, cool, this is great, I'll join up. And then I lost my first account, got upset about that.
Ooh.
And the first account thing was my own fault. Like, I didn't follow any of the rules, didn't do anything smart like I do now, which I should have done. You really shouldn't have to, because you should be able to sync it, but that comes in a couple of years. But that was my fault. So it was on me, and then I started up in, what was it, 2017, 2018, back up it, like just before my birthday, and then I've been playing that, and then heard about Azur Lane. I'm not really sure what got me into it, but it was just Actually, I think it was Shotgun Shogun actually who got me into it. I saw one of his videos about it, and I was like, "Oh, this seems interesting." Click. Next thing I know, I'm sitting 6 oath rings in and 5 in the inventory on that one.
Right. All right. Since I brought up the question, I think it's only fair that I start with my own story. So, I was like barely a weeblet, like around half an hour ago. Like I barely watched anime. Like, and my introduction to Fate was a series of cutesy fan comics by an artist called Irie, where she took one of the servants from the game and had like really wholesome interactions with the character. And I saw those and I'm like, these are really cute. What is it from? And I stumbled on the Fate Grand Order subreddit and I stuck around for a bit to see more of those comics. And then the more I saw of this game, the more interested I got because I had never heard of Fate before this. I didn't know what Fate Stay Night was or anything of the sort.
Oh wow!
And I would just talk to the people on the subreddit. And then 4 months later, I had installed the game and I was playing it. And the first story thing I saw was the Axel Zero event.
Oh,
And
you lucky bugger!
if any of you guys play that, you know that it has good story, and that basically hooked me. And then a couple of months later, I saw Miyamoto Musashi, and I was in love, and I'm like, okay, I cannot leave this game. Yeah, and then that led to me making friends with other people on that subreddit who played gacha games, and it led me to discover other gacha games. And then I found out about the Azurlane closed beta test, and I sent off an entry request as a curiosity. But then I got in and I got hooked on that, and then that started a downward spiral. Where at my peak, I was playing around 11 gacha games, though I did have cut down a bit.
I don't know how you managed 11. Honestly,
Very, very frustratingly, which is why I cut it down.
Yeah. What? Quick question. I know some of you haven't answered the other ones. What's the max amount of gotcha games you guys have played at once?
At once?
Three.
All right, give me a second.
Oh,
Just
Give
straight
me
up
a
3.
second.
I don't have the time to do more than 3, and I tried.
For me, it was like
2.
One.
because for me it was like 8, and I did that for like a week, and then I was like, nope, can't do this. I cut some of them out.
for me, I was probably up around there. And actually, I remember the very first gacha game I played, which was Brave XVS. That was the first one I got into. So,
All right.
just to throw that out there, that was the first one that I had actually played. But I think I was up to 8 at one point. I had Crossing Void, Girls Frontline, FGO, Azure Lane. Shoot, there's 4 other ones that I forget, but it's like I was up to 8, and I was like, no, this is too much. I have to cut this down. And then, of course, I started actually spending money, and it was like, yeah,
Yeah, I understand.
okay, we're down to 2. And then, unfortunately, I see another one on the horizon, and I'm probably going to end up playing that one. I'm probably going to have to cut the money up into 3 games.
Yeah. Right now, currently, I have 11.
How? That's what I want to know. How?
Let's see. Right now, I have Fate Go, both GP and EN. I have Azure Lane, Epic 7, Girls Frontline, Arknights, CN right now, Fire Emblem, Honkai, Cross and Void. What else am I missing? I'm missing 2 more. Well, for right now, that's what I have.
Alrighty then.
Okay, something I really want to know is why do people who play on the JP one also play the NA one?
Okay. So
I mean, if you understand the JP one, if you don't understand, I get it. But if you do understand JP, like Japanese, I don't know why I was saying JP there. If you understand Japanese, why would you stick with NA?
Okay. So, for me, gacha, I started with Fate Grand Order GP because I've been with Type Moon for a very long time in the beginning. So once I realized that they were gonna have the GP server, I started playing GP, And then once NA came out, I was too invested already in GP, but I also wanted to understand fully the story and the characters, so I started playing NA.
Okay, so you are one of the people who wanted more understanding. Oh, okay, never mind then. I get it now. You're too invested in one, and it's like I want to better understand. I better play this one. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only reason. That's pretty much the only reason I stick to English gachas. I like being able to actually understand what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Well, I like too much having future foresight.
See, that's what great. The two main games I play right now are Dawn Memo and Alicization Rising Steel, and both of them are fully. The English version is the same exact version as the Japanese version, so I'm just getting everything as it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, like, that's probably a godsend for those because also then you're not spoiled about what's upcoming. Like with us with Fate Grand Order, because like we know what's coming. With Azure Lane, though, they kind of are syncing the two, syncing us with the others, so we're
Yeah,
kind of
Azure.
getting into the
It's so
unknown here
weird.
soon.
It's really weird.
I've noticed Fate Grand Order is the only one that seems to keep that time distance, though that's probably because it has something to do with the story depending on those dates. Azure Lane and Honkai, at most, it's a couple weeks apart. I've noticed.
Yeah, Honkai is a month and a half, about a month and a half behind. Every
Is
single
it?
server besides Chinese is about a month and a half behind Chinese.
Yeah.
Oh, is it exactly a month and a half? I thought it varied.
It's about one update, which usually is about a month and a half.
Oh yeah, because that was the metric I was using. Like, I believe we're currently on 3.5, and the Chinese server is on 3.6.
Yeah.
Like, we're always one.
Yeah, when we get the next update, they're usually just around the middle to the end of the beta of the update after that.
Yeah, like that I can understand though, because that's more of an action game, so it's a little bit harder to sync it up. Now that I know that it's an action game, that actually makes more sense to me. I've always been wondering about that. I'm going, why is that one just a little bit further? That doesn't make any sense. Now that I know it's an action game, yeah, that makes more sense now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
But
why.
Oh, go ahead.
That's why I'm more like really hyped for Arknight, because we're only ahead. I think it's almost a year now, so it's only going to be like a year like skip away. However, since with the global version coming out soon, already CN is pumping out events faster than before, which is actually really good.
Yeah, I'm interested in Arknights for another reason entirely, because it's the first gacha game of its kind. Like, tower defense is pretty much unheard of to be used as a gacha game, and yet that's what Arknights is, as far as I
yeah,
understand, anyway.
yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. I saw Shotgun's thing of the
Live stream.
CBT. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I watched it when it was offline. Unfortunately, I never was around when he was actually having it live. But
Oh, it was
watching the
funny.
video,
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
watching the video, it was like, oh, okay, this actually is not something you can actually just set aside. This actually seems like I might actually need to sit down, take some time to think about this. Like, I mean, not in all cases. I mean, some of the maps are just plop 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 plop. Okay, we're done. But I mean, like, it's got some actual strategy. Well, I mean, Azure Lane has strategy and Fate Grand Order has strategy. But I mean, it's like it's
Actual look at the field. This is what got to go here, here, and here.
Yeah, it doesn't hold your
yeah,
hand.
it's well, it none of them hold your hand either. Like when if you, I'm still on stage 9 for Azure Lane, so holding your hand is not exactly it. But I just mean like it's more tactically thought out because of the gacha. No, not the gacha aspect of it. What am I thinking? I mean the tower aspect of it, because it's like you've got to make sure that you make the placements correct. But the neat thing is you can refund as well. So that was something I didn't know, and it was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay, I believe this might be a good stopping point. But before we go and leave the nice people that are listening, Nintendo Direct is going to be out on the 9th, which is 2 days from us. Just quick hypothesis on what you guys think are going to come out. I think they're going to talk about Pokemon Home, which is going to be the Pokemon Bank for the Switch. They're going to talk about possible, which I hope they do, Diamond and Pearl remake, and the big things will be raid updates and Pokemon Go updates. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
We might see an announcement for an event in Masters, though. That's like I'm like 50% sure on that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that they're.
You can go, Dorian.
Go ahead, Paul. Okay.
you can-
I'm guessing that they're probably gonna tease a Sword and Shield 2. I have a really funny suspicion that this is gonna like, I mean, everything else so far is probably spot on. Like with guesses, like Joe, I'm quite sure that your guesses are spot on. But I have this funny feeling that we're gonna see a Sword and Shield 2 drop, just because it just. I haven't played the current generation, but
Will
everything
this
I've
one have the
heard.
complete Pokedex?
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually don't think they're going to do the complete Pokedex.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
don't think they're going to do it anymore.
Even if they do it too, I think what they've done is basically, okay, each region is going to have a set amount, and that's it. Like, we'll add in the full dex at a later date because but we're going to make sure you have this amount for this game to focus on. But I really have this funny feeling because it was just like, oh hey, yo, we're having a direct, and it's like, wait, what? Why? When? Huh? Like nothing was on the horizon for Pokemon until, and so it's like that kind of almost seems like, hey yo, we're gonna start the year off and let you know that Sword and Shield 2 is coming.
The only reason I don't think there is going to be an announcement for that is purely because Sword and Shield only just came out 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to announce it so soon after its release. I think it's more likely we're going to get either the news of a Diamond Pearl remakes beforehand, or
Oh no, I mean, like I'm expecting that one for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if they said it was in development, at least. I'm not saying like it's coming. I'm just gonna say, oh, we're working on it because like Sword and Shield actually sold like really well, even though everybody hated it.
Yeah.
I mean, also at the same time though, Game Freak isn't just working on Pokemon anymore. They have their own RPG that they're making. So that's another reason I don't think we're going to see a Sword and Shield 2 announcement just yet. Is because I think they're going to want to focus on their own personal IP before making another Pokemon game.
No, they have 3 teams now. They have one on that for personal, the new
Do they have
personal
3 teams
IP.
now?
They have one for the mainline series, and they have one for the offline series. Because they when the last update for the new IP that they're working on, I forget what they're working on, to be honest. Sorry, painkillers.
I don't think they
Are
gave it
kinda
an
messing with
actual
my
name.
head,
It was
but-
Wait.
something Village.
Game Freak's new IP that already failed. It came out and it literally flopped.
No. They have another new IP in the works.
Yeah.
Like there's a third branch that's specifically working on new IPs. Like I mean, they've literally said that they've got 3 teams now working on stuff.
First I'm hearing of that.
Yeah, no, they I don't remember what it is. I don't remember. Oh, that's right. They haven't mentioned what it is. There's just been postings up for it, so it's kind of more of a speculation. But it has nothing to do with Pokemon, though.
Yeah, no,
the
they
job listing.
on September 13th they announced a town, which is like a new IP that they're working on.
Oh yeah, it was Town. I was sure it was Town. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But they changed the name of Town. It's not Town anymore, is it?
It was just Town working title. They said it
Yeah.
was available 2019. I don't know if it actually ever came out.
Well,
No, I don't.
oh, go ahead. Let you finish this thought.
Oh no, I was just gonna say no. I don't think it has come out because I know they changed the title and it got bumped into 2020 because they bumped the release date, and then there were like, we've also changed the working title name.
Oh yeah, it looks like they changed it to Little Town Hero.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one I was actually talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
they
it
said
said-
that.
At least in Japan, it says it came out on October 17th.
Oh, so it has been released? Oh no, it was the English release that got bumped. That's right. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So, Doctor, do do you have any final thoughts on the Pokemon Direct before we?
Well, most likely, what we're going to get is the Pokebank, and they're
Hey.
probably going to announce a new event for Pokemon Sword and Shield since we recently had the Gigamax Snorlax.
Yes.
So they're
And
going to
the
probably
Ash
give
Barn.
us,
And,
yeah, they're probably going to give us another one now.
So, I believe this is where we should call it. Folks, thank you for stopping by the roundtable discussion. I am Joe Schmo. I was joined by Dr. Hollow, Dorian, N12, and Ruda. We are the crew here at MGN, which is part of it. And join us next time when we'll talk about, go more into depth about different updates and different events going on. So, until next time, guys, we'll see you all later.
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 Later.